Howdy, everyone, and happy Sunday. Thank you so much for joining in, and please settle in today because we have another action-packed unboxing that you will not believe. If you're in a rush, just come back to the video later when you have some time because this one is going to be absolutely loaded with some awesome treasures. I'm so excited to show you. I want to welcome all the new viewers in, and thank you to the return subscribers that always proudly come back to my channel. Will I say some things sometimes that you don't like? Probably. Do I mean any harm by it? Absolutely never. So I appreciate you allowing me to be truthful and transparent and show you the way that I've constructed my complete collection over the years and how I personally buy. I want to thank all of you for continuing to click on my videos because the analytics came in this morning and I'm up. Get this, 182% in view count. So you just clicking on this video and sharing it out to somebody else, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for making me feel so important and loved. And I hope I do the same thing for each and every one of you. Now, on to one other piece of information. On my eBay, I've been registered as a reseller since 2003 on my current account. I had an account before that for 2 years, so I registered personally in 2001. Now, get this. Before that, I worked at the Ravenna Antique Mall for 3 years. So I've been a veteran on eBay now for almost, I think it's now 28 years. So unbelievable that much time has went on. And I still met 100% positive feedback. I have sold, get this, 27,000 unique antique and vintage items. So 27,000. Can you believe it? I mean, I really honestly have to say it's been such a wonderful ride and greatly successful. These 2 bags of turquoise gemstones, and I should have said, now into the video. These 2 bags of turquoise came in from 2 different estate collections. These will be coming to future videos, so anyone who loves loose gemstones and turquoise or any kind of historically important stones, I definitely will be doing separate videos on those and also separate videos on these. But someone had said, hey, can you do a turquoise video and talk about the different mines? The only way that I can do it is by showing you specifically what mines these come from and hopefully give you a helpful guide. Remember, when turquoise oxidizes over time, you may not have the identification of the mine correct just because the oxidation does occur and colors do shift over time. 2 pieces that are out on my desk that just came in, and I'm super excited about this one. I've owned this brooch before, and everyone said, oh, a sapphire, diamond, and platinum. No, this is costume jewelry from the late 1950s. I've had this brooch before, and it sells incredibly well. Where this came from, they did not know it was signed. And it was sold for $4.99. I paid slightly more because this did come in from a dealer friend of mine. And down in here, when you look at the back, see the riveted construction? So I will do a video on, quote, unsigned costume jewelry and what I look for. So when you look on the inside here, you'll notice this right here off this edge. It says Jomaz, Jomaz. That's Joseph Mazer. Jomaz is highly collectible, made to look like platinum and diamonds. So this brooch actually sells on the retail level around $400 to $500. Maybe slightly less. Maybe it's down to like $325. Maybe it's up to $525. There is an ebb and a flow in this market, and very drastic because a lot of new collectors are coming into the vintage costume jewelry world. Look how that looks so real though. It looks completely like fine jewelry, but it's all synthetic. It's all glass in rhodium-plated base metal, and I'm very familiar with the early costume jewelry firms, and I'll guide you that way. Jeremy and I went to a pawn shop yesterday. By the airing of this video, it would be 3 days ago. So look at that for a diamond ring, and it's an engagement ring, and the retail on it was almost $1,900. And boy, we got a great deal, so we took it because Jeremy said he loved that accent of yellow diamonds around that center stone. We usually do not do much in contemporary jewelry. We try and stay away from it. However, when we find something that's a really good deal, we step out of our comfort zone because such pieces are selling incredibly well. So a beautiful ring in diamonds, and that's 14 karat white gold. Let's get into the box now. You've been so patient. Here we go. We're going to get into it because I don't want to waste any time. What you're looking at is probably going to take me maybe up to 2 videos to sort. I don't know. I'm going to try my best today. I want to try and keep my videos currently around 30 minutes because I am back in the studio full time. I have 2 major commissions that I'm working on, and I have to get my work done as well as create content for my channel. So in this box, there are 2 different lots that this came from. One came from a storage unit, and one came from a closed estate sale. So it was a private estate sale that only dealers were invited to. Let me zoom in because I need to get you closer to the items. I try my best to show you everything up close, and you know that I do that. So we'll just get into it and we'll just go. So yes, there was a very small portion from the estate sale, and then there was a major portion of this was from the storage unit auction. And the interesting part is when I say this, I already saw things in it that I knew that I needed to do restorations. So I've talked about Bethlehem Pearl before. It is mother of pearl carved in Bethlehem. Sometimes it is signed Jerusalem. Most of the time it is signed Bethlehem. So these are Bethlehem Pearl. There's a cross and screwback earrings. Very gorgeous. Moderate value on the earrings because they're screwbacks, maybe $20. On the cross, $20 to $25. It has started to increase in value because mother of pearl is a universal, goes with every outfit, and so beautifully done. You will find these in buttons, and they're slightly larger each time. Some are figural. They'll have a dove, a Bible, the 10 Commandments, the Holy Spirit bird. And when you get into the buttons, they get to be much more expensive. As buttons, 35 to 65, maybe even 65 to 75, depending on size and complexity. So there you go. There's a little Bethlehem Pearl set. Now, I love loose beads. So as you know, when I get into these boxes, I always kind of try and group up the loose beads. What I could do is I might pause for a couple minutes before I jumble this whole box. Oh, here's another Bethlehem Pearl. So there's another one. Oh, it's broken. So, but I could keep that for parts and restoration. When I get things that are mother of pearl inlay, like the old Victorian calling card cases, I love to have these pieces to then cut apart with my jeweler saw and then inlay those inlay pieces that are sometimes missing. This cross is broken. Most people would throw away. I need this for restorations. It might make me $300 if I do a restoration on an old Victorian calling card case. This is a finial, so we'll just take this out. That is a lamp finial that screws into the top of a lamp. That's very important because that might go to one of the slide glass lamps, one of the panel lamps, a loose amber earring in sterling silver. That is definitely amber and definitely sterling for sure. And that bezel, so well made. That would make, if there's not another one in here, that would make an incredible, don't know what this is, maybe. We'll have to slow down on this one. We'll set that aside. That might be gold. We'll have to double check. And then I did not see this one. Or did I see this one? I may have seen this one before I threw it in here. Yeah, that is that one that's missing the opal and sterling silver mounting. Very beautiful. Almost that Egyptian stylized lotus there. Really beautifully done. And for anyone that normally doesn't like my nail polish look, there's one spot left just for you. Just to totally upset you. You know, it's weird, like, no matter what you do on YouTube, you're always going to upset someone. You just always, it's just going to happen. So, to any content creators, I always say, just ignore it. You know, just ignore it. It'll go away if you ignore it. If you engage it and encourage it, it will continue. So just ignore it. And don't ever censor or let someone's criticize them. I guess someone said to me, my friend the other day, they said, don't accept someone's criticism if you wouldn't accept their advice. And I thought, look, there's a match pair already. Look, I'm going to distract myself so I don't get in trouble. And that's really stuck on there. Karma's like, here, I'm going to stick this earring on here and frustrate you. But no, it's true. They said, if you wouldn't accept someone's criticism, don't accept their advice or something like that. I was like, wow, that's amazing. I love that. So sterling silver, and a matched pair of earrings. So those will sell. Ooh, let's start a sell pile. Here, I'm going to adult today and start a sell pile. We'll sell the Bethlehem Pearl. We'll probably sell that as a set. Let me move this over. And what is this? Ooh, that's quite nice. A turquoise and sterling silver ring. That's a sell. Oh, I see what's going on. There's a little tiny break right here. So that needs to be repaired. That's still a sell. We'll set that out. And I was on this bead thing before I got distracted by giving people a life lesson. So, and it's not a life lesson when it comes from the heart. Now, if it's rehearsed and then you say, I'm a good person, and you start with I'm a good person and then you give a life lesson, no thanks. I don't know. This is a polished stone of some sort. A lot of people think these are nothings. That might be, we'll take a look at that. That might be a something. So we'll take a look at that closer. And thanks again for joining in. I'm trying to get all the loose beads and not really jumble the box. So I don't like to upset my viewers because some people say, you go too fast. Then people say, you go too slow. And then people say, you didn't show us everything. And I'm like, wow, I'm trying my best over here. So I'm doing my best. And sometimes, your best has to be good enough. I don't know where that sterling ring came from. That's a sterling silver ring from the 40s. But look at all these beads. So these are amber or bakelite. I'll have to test them. And I use 409 on them or simichrome. This one's definitely bakelite for sure. Almost Mississippi mud, but not quite because it has such a yellow base. These are Venetian glass. I had a pair of these before. They're wonderful. They're either earrings or off of a necklace. I love that one. Look at the color of that one. Definitely vintage, late 1930s into the 1940s. This one is just unusual enough to set aside and keep. I think I had covered that in a previous video, though. I think I did. Let me put these beads in something. Hold on. I'm going to pause for 1 sec. I'm back, and before I start to do too much, I decided that I wanted to pick out all the sterling silver, and you're like, but wait, why are you going so quick? And I'm like, because this is, when I go to do this is how fast I go, because this is the way I was trained to do it. I have to know what is silver, and I have to know what is not. Let's see here, that definitely is. I have to know what is silver, and I have to know what is not this quickly when I'm at a cataloging situation at the auction facilities, and also at estate sales. When I've helped other companies, they do pay me by hour, and so I don't want to dawdle and take forever to do these things. So based on metal color and content, and I always double check my work, but as I frantically go, what I want to do is continue to lay out some of the sterling silver pieces, and I was going to do this off camera, so I'll pause now, but you can kind of see what I picked out already. That's all sterling silver or 800 silver. I'll continue to load this up, and I'll be right back. I'm sure you could tell that the box looks totally different now. It only took me another about 2 minutes, and that's how much more I pulled out, and it keeps going all the way back. Well, it goes way, way back. And let me close this box. Let me see if we could do it this way. There we go. Now we're almost in the frame. A lot of sterling silver. Some are missing stones. A lot of turquoise. This is a great brooch. I collect these. We'll get into this in another video. And I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but I've always said Solje. It's Solje. They're supposed to be... They were thought of widely as wedding brooches, but we'll get into these later. Scandinavian for sure, though, in origin. And I'm sure someone from, Norway is probably, really upset with me the way I pronounced that. Oh, well, I'm from the cornfield in Ohio. What can I say? This was interesting. These are diamonds, little diamonds in sterling silver. And you can tell that some of the diamonds are out, but boy, for a restoration, that can make me a lot of money. And I only found one. So, oh wait, those stones are not out, or are those just different colored diamonds? No, those are out. So, but look at the central baguette channel. That's definitely necessary for restorations. Enamel, turquoise, broken cuff. But again, someone else might just, melt this down. Look how early this was for Navajo. For a Navajo, beautiful turquoise bracelet. almost possibly ingot forged, but boy, that's had a rough life. To claim those stones out of there, I could make so much money on restorations with just that one broken piece. Other people just crack the stones out and melt the silver down. I wouldn't do that. It's not necessary. I wish there was another one of these. This is Zuni. I would say it's late 1940s on this specific one. All genuine stone inlay in that really beautiful graphic butterfly design. This one is missing three of those. Oh, four. There's one in the center missing. And we'll use that for restoration. These are sterling silver, but there's too many stones missing, so those cannot be fixed. It's not worth fixing those. This one I think I've showed in a past video of when I first got that box in. I think that, I think I did show this. Very cool. Almost in Dishta style, almost. Sterling silver, vermeil, mixed stones, turquoise, another really fantastic turquoise earring. I do think I have the other one of this in another box. This is very familiar to me. And when the one collection came in, I think I have this one. I think I have the second one of that. Not sure, but that's sterling. Onyx, cultured pearl. I think there's two of these. Look how dirty my hands are getting. This one needs to be restored. I'll fight to keep this one because that just needs to be hammered on the back. And I've shown you how to fix these bands in previous videos. If you want to learn how to do that, go back to one of my live feeds. I'm not sure which one it's in at this point. They're all running together. Tassel, sterling silver Victorian, either off of a purse or the drop off of an earring, possibly a necklace. Wait, look, I didn't need to go to the other box. I knew I had it. All right, so now I knew I had it. I told you. See, you could trust me. So I have the other ones. So those need to be sold. Okay, so we'll set those out. I knew I had it. Look at how, you know what? And someone said to me, how do you remember all of what you remember? It's easy when you love what you do. It's easy when you love what you do. When you're confused and, I don't know. It's almost like maybe you don't love what you're doing, And that's not judgment. That's just saying I love, and I guess I could leave it there and say, I love what I'm doing. That's how I remember. This is 14 karat gold, but that is stuck. I wanted to separate this. This is a 14 karat gold box chain, and let's get that off of there and show you. And I think I have the other carnelian Art Deco earring. When I match these things up, you all ask, where do you sell these items? I sell them in 3 locations now. I sell them on eBay. I sell them on YouTube under Bully Run Coffee. Let me get that. For anyone who's new to the channel here, please go over to Bully Run Coffee. That's where we have our Tuesday sales. So it's Bully Run Coffee. That's my partner Jeremy's channel, and that's where we sell a lot of the items that we sort. There we go. Now I got this off of here. This is solid 14 karat yellow gold box chain, and that is this really beautiful, almost arts and crafts, but transitioning into Art Deco, almost arts and crafts earring. I think I have the other one, carnelian and sterling silver, and look at that little station in the middle with that delicate leaf, but very long, and super cool. Again, I am not having a problem selling screwbacks these days. For over 20 years, I couldn't sell a single screwback earring, and now all of a sudden people say, I don't mind if it's a screwback. The ebb and the flow of the business has really surprised me over the last 30 years in seeing what sells and what doesn't. This is a gorgeous 14 karat gold, 14 karat yellow gold box chain. Let's go in on this. And I knew by the color, it's got to be signed. There we go. Fully signed 14 karat. People go, well, how do you know it's not vermeil? Been around it a long time. That is soldered off center. It's not a problem. It's secure. So that's not an issue or a problem. But that's 14 karat. Really good condition for a box chain. All right, so let me hang that up so I don't tangle that up in anything. I'm gonna put this over here on my little rack of necklaces, and that's the way I stay organized as well. As soon as I'm done with these sortings, I always just kind of hang things up. A really beautiful, or I should say handsome, sterling silver rope. Again, I cannot keep a rope chain in stock right now. There's another box chain under here that's sterling. I did leave quite a bit of silver, an old coin. I did leave quite a bit of silver in the box, so this is only a portion of the sterling. These beads are great. Those are 800 silver, so if you see these, they're 800 silver. They are sometimes plated, but these are 800 silver. I gotta get some hair out of these things because there's always hair stuck in these pieces. I didn't clean anything. This is a purest sort video, if you will. And then some deco earrings. I'll look for the other one of this. I don't think the other one is in there of this one, but I'll definitely look for it. And I'll scoot these. Oh, Norwegian. Norwegian enamel. And this. And I think the other one is here of this. I think that opal glass, reverse carved, with that beautiful Asian building. Absolutely stunning, because so long. That's a big one. Anyways, let's take a look in the box and see what else we have. Let's open it up, and we'll just do it now live. I'll do it live now, pre-recorded. I think the other one of this is there. There is some, see, and then this is where it gets crazy. Is the jumbles, right? You all, wait, did I just, no, all right, hold on. So you all love the jumbles because you go crazy and you say, can you slow down and show us the jumbles? Not a problem. That's one heck of an awesome angel. Let's dig that out of there. Let's take our time, and I'll take a breath for the first time in 21 minutes. So let's see here. Let's go like this. Oh, look, that didn't take too long. Look at that. There we go. Look. And that's definitely going to be a sell. Yeah, that's 100% silver. Maybe sign on the foot. Yeah, that's absolutely, I guarantee to that be silver. It's probably 800. But that's 100% silver, meaning I guarantee it's silver, not 100% silver. That's like 800 silver, so there's 800 parts per thousand. So, I guarantee that that's a winner. Let's see. That's awesome. And for what I paid for all of this, now here's an earring that matches those the drop pins. Now wait a minute. Let me see here, because there was a small pair. Oh, here's a bail off of something. So that's like where the chain goes through. I really should wash my hands right now. Let me just get a little bit of water on my hands and wipe them off, because that's going to drive some people crazy. So I should come on here and do a video of all the things that drive people crazy. I'd be here for the rest of my life, though. Oh, that's going to go in my collection. Yeah, that's a keep for me. Yeah, that's a keep for me. That's not going to be a sell. That can be a sell. Let's see. Oh, this is cute. That can be a sell. The little star with the turquoise. That's Victorian. About 1860, 1870. Oh, it's missing a little seed pearl. And I definitely have that seed pearl for sure, so that just needs to be fixed. Oh, these are Trifari. And the only reason why I know this is because, let me think of the last video. Yeah, these are Trifari. They're, back in the day, they were $18. I see why they didn't sell. Anytime you see the stones cloudy and yellow, that's highly problematic, especially for Trifari. Collectors of Crown Trifari are very specific on the condition of their items. The pearls need to be perfect. The rhinestones need to be perfect. I've dealt in Trifari now for just at 30 years. And I started with costume and Native American silver. What is this? It's just some stone. This is probably Ohio. Let's see here. This could be Ohio quartz. This is Ohio quartz. That's a quartz from Ohio. Here, these are the little turquoise earrings that I once caught a glimpse of and then never saw again. Look how small they are. So the whispers amongst giants, like the whisper amongst giants, sometimes people think this is the most sellable. I'm not picking on this, but I'm saying they think that this is the most sellable when such small things are more marketable. Silver, Native American, Navajo, turquoise, and red coral. Very small scale, but I'm glad that they pinned them together. Here, let's take them apart. I almost didn't want to come off of there. It was a little corroded. And look at that for sterling silver and turquoise and red coral. Very small size. When people say to me, Jason, why do you always pick the really large and big and bold things when you have clients for small things? I service everybody. I do from very expensive to moderate. I do from rhinestone to platinum and diamonds. I do from Mexican sterling silver to, Portuguese pieces from the 1700s. So I'm full service when it comes to the jewelry world because that's the way I knew that I would need to be to survive the ebb and flow of the business. So yes, much more delicate, but very, very sellable, very, very wearable every day. And people love that size. But see here, I guess let me show you side-by-side comparison. So I would deal in this as much as I would deal in these. And it's two different people. It's two totally different people. Or maybe it's the same person who wants to be fancier one day and go to the supermarket the next day. That's all. It's just different tastes. And I think that's where I would recommend to young people getting into this business, into the collectible world, just buy what you love and the rest will follow. That's what I always did. And I learned as I went. This is unfortunately missing one right here. And this is an early one. I did not know this was in here. I will restore this and I will keep this. This one will not be for sale. This will be a definite keep for my collection, and I will restore this. Not a problem. I have ones that I have over 300. Now I'm probably down to 200. I have about 200 of these brooches, and they're all different. I'll bring on my collection, and you'll all be like, what just happened? But I've collected these for 30 years. The first one I bought at a pawn shop in Cleveland for $8. Way back in the day, they threw it on the scale and they said, oh, in silver, it's $8. And I said, well, how much is it? And they said, $8. And I go, okay, I'll take it. So I traded green paper for something that was worth far more now these days. Anyways, so that is lovely. I always love these parts and components, and unfortunately, there's a lot of those in the bottom of this box, and we'll just do a quick, this needs to be restored, I think. Yep, that needs a pin mechanism on the back, but I bet you this glass probably glows. More than likely, let me take a quick look. I don't know, something else is stuck in there. Let's see here. No, come on. It's like some sort of little amethyst bead. There we go. Let's take a quick peek and see if this glows. Yeah, it does. It reacts. It goes into like a pinkish, yeah, there could be cadmium in there. There might be, but that's interesting. So I'll have to fix that and get that sold. And yeah, I think that's pretty nice for a vintage rhinestone pin from the 50s. Needs a pin mechanism. Skeleton keys and small keys, always very desirable. This stopper had my interest as well. I'm 99% sure, no, let me back that up. I'm 90% sure that this is Lalique. And I'll have to do some research and see if there is such a Lalique bottle that has these snake forms. I'll have to do some research and see if there is a known perfume bottle or scent bottle that has this Lalique stopper. Because to me, that says, hello, I'm Lalique all day long. And there was no dauber there ever. That was the way that was finished. So, yeah, look at that. Someone is probably looking for this. Now, let me tell you another little story. I had what I considered part of a bowl years ago, and it was the Diving Girl. And I believe it was Steuben. I'm not exactly sure who manufactured it, but it was the Diving Girl, and she had a stopper base on her. Bought her at an area antique mall, I think for... I think it was $75 or $95. This is almost 30 years ago. I put it on eBay, and sure enough, I started it for whatever, $9.99 or whatever I started it for to let people fight for it at auction years ago. And it wound up selling for, I think, just over $1,000. That was a great day in the business, and it was what I thought it was. It was the Diving Girl, but it was like this. But it was great big. So sometimes when you need a part to something, those people are really willing to pay up. If someone has the bottle and the bottle's worth, let's say with the stopper, $3,000, someone's going to be willing to pay an awful lot of money for this. I don't know. I'd have to do my research, but that's been in the box. I can't tell you how long. A lot of vintage rhinestone pieces. Off to the corners, because rhinestones I usually push out of the way until the end, because then I try and match them up. Let's just do a quick grab of all the rhinestone pieces, so the rhinestone people will be happy and say, thank you for including us in your videos every single time. Oh, interesting. Didn't know it was in there. Chinese kingfisher feather. And that's an ornament off of something that's Chinese. And so this must have went into, yeah, it's got its wire. This must have went into some sort of headpiece or ornament. Maybe a hair comb. So that is definitely Chinese and very early. I do not know how that kingfisher feather survived in that good a condition, rustling around amongst all these pieces. That needs to be stored all by itself, because that is one of the most fugitive things in jewelry, meaning if you look at them wrong, if you look at the feathers wrong, they just fall off and they're gone. So not a lot of wear, butterfly figural Chinese, very old. And I would say for restoration on that, that's very, very expensive now. So when you see that color, do not assume that it is enamel. That is not enamel. That is kingfisher feather. Hopefully you learned something new there today. Now, the rhinestone pieces, I will try and mate these up. These are missing a ton of stones, but you get the drill. And look, we're at a half hour. I probably will not bring this box back. Oh, an Aladdin glass finial stuck in the side of it over here. I hope you learned something today. Another Coro Duet. This has the Coro Duets that clip onto it. This would be like the kind of retro bow design. It wouldn't be the birds or the figurals. Those are normally asymmetrical on this frame. So this is probably the clips that would clip this way and clip this way. You can see where that spring mechanism would go through here, and then the clips would clip down on both sides. So, but that's great for a Coro Duet frame. A lot of people would buy just this frame. People throw these away. They do jewelry jars or whatever, and they go, I don't know what this is, but this isn't wearable, and it's going to get thrown away. Don't throw these away. You have collectors looking for these Coro Duet frames. Quite important. Of course, another classic Jason Googly eye, a big one. I need those for restoration. A copper earring, more sterling silver in Mexico. The parts underneath, I'm sure you would love for me to dump them on a tray. The parts underneath are numerous. There is pieces of gold in here. There is pieces of silver. A Schiaparelli earring that I didn't talk about. There's a Schiaparelli earring. Yep. I hope I have the other one in that other small box. A piece of carved coral. Yeah, I say yes to that. All right, so that does it for today. I'm going to call it now because, there's the mate to the other earring. Here's some other silver earrings. So there you go. In silver weight alone, for what I paid for both collections was not a lot of money. I mean, really, it was very moderate. I'm going to make a substantial amount. I hope you enjoyed this quick sort. Thank you so much for coming back to my videos. Again, please go over and subscribe to Bully Run if you're interested in our YouTube sales. They're usually Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a whole lot of fun. Even if you don't purchase anything, just come over and say hello and sit back, relax, and enjoy watching what things sell for. I thank you again so much for clicking on my videos and sharing them out. My percentages are way up. And like I said, I'm going to try and consolidate down my videos to maybe 3 a week just for now. And I really do appreciate all of you. I guess I should say it because it's 100% true. And I hope I show you rather than just tell you. I love you because I do.